Did you know that your perception about money can be the determining factor for your financial situation? Recent statistics suggest that 71.3% of people who consistently struggle to improve their finances share a mental pattern focused on lack and limitation, often without realizing it. As the great Earl Nightingale used to say, we become what we think about most of the time. And this applies directly to our relationship with prosperity. But before we explore this topic in depth, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and activate the little bell so you don't miss any video. Nightingale's statement is not just a motivational phrase, it echoes a fundamentally powerful psychological principle, the self-fulfilling prophecy. Our thoughts, especially those we consistently cultivate, shape our reality in ways we often don't even imagine. Imagine your mind as a fertile garden. The seeds you plant, whether of abundance or scarcity, will inevitably blossom and bear fruit in your life. A scarcity mentality, like a persistent weed, takes root in the limiting belief that resources are finite, that there isn't enough for everyone, and that life is essentially a zero-sum game, where one person's gain inevitably means another's loss. This perspective, like a distorted filter through which we see the world, leads us to live in a constant state of alert, in survival mode, always with the fear that something will be taken from us, that the next crisis is lurking. This mentality generates a vicious cycle of fear and anxiety that, like an invisible magnet, attracts exactly what we fear most: lack. Think of a person living under the yoke of a scarcity mentality when faced with an investment opportunity. Instead of analyzing the growth potential and long-term benefits, the fear of loss paralyzes her. She focuses on the risks, the possible pitfalls, imagining catastrophic scenarios that prevent her from even considering the possibility of gain. This restricted vision, like a horse with blinders, prevents her from noticing the countless opportunities that sparkle around her, opportunities that could be the key to unlocking a more prosperous future. How many times have we heard stories of people who let great chances pass by out of fear, out of insecurity, out of believing they were not worthy or capable? The scarcity mentality constantly whispers in their ears, fueling doubts and undermining self-confidence. In contrast, the abundance mentality, like a radiant sun that dissipates the shadows, radiates the optimistic belief that the universe is inherently prosperous, that opportunities are infinite, and that wealth, in all its forms, is a constant flow and accessible to all who open themselves to receive it. This belief is not a naive illusion or superficial magical thinking, but rather a powerful mental posture that expands our perception, sharpens our creativity, and drives us to act with confidence and determination. A person with an abundance mentality, when faced with the same investment opportunity, faces it with curiosity and enthusiasm. She assesses the risks realistically, but does not allow herself to be paralyzed by fear. Her mind is open to possibilities, to innovation, to collaboration. She believes in her ability to learn, to adapt, to overcome challenges, and to create value. This proactive mental posture, like a beacon that attracts prosperity, leads her to make more assertive decisions, to build stronger relationships, and to pursue her goals with passion and resilience. Imagine two people looking for a job. The person with a scarcity mentality applies for few positions, afraid of being rejected, and focuses on her weaknesses, constantly feeling inadequate. The person with an abundance mentality, on the other hand, applies for several positions, confident in her skills and the value she can add, seeing each interview as an opportunity for learning and growth. Which one do you think is more likely to succeed? Modern society, with its complexity and paradoxes, paradoxically bombards us with contradictory messages. On the one hand, we are encouraged to consume incessantly, to seek material success at any cost, to compare our lives with the idealized showcases of social networks. On the other hand, we are constantly reminded of the finiteness of natural resources, social inequalities, and global economic crises. This cognitive dissonance, this cacophony of voices that echo in our ears, often pushes us into the swampy terrain of the scarcity mentality. We are flooded with advertisements that tell us that we need the latest technological release, fashionable clothes, the car of the year to be happy, to be accepted, to be worthy of love and recognition. The culture of rampant consumption, fueled by relentless social comparison, makes us believe that we are always lacking, that we are never good enough, that the neighbor's grass is always greener. constant exposure to seemingly perfect lives on social networks, carefully constructed and edited to convey an image of unattainable happiness and success, intensifies the feeling of inadequacy and envy, reinforcing the belief that wealth, happiness, fulfillment are privileges reserved for a chosen few, not for us, mere mortals. This toxic cultural atmosphere, like a dense fog that obscures our vision, cultivates fear, insecurity, and conformity. We are conditioned to believe that competition is the only way to survive, that we need to fight for every crumb, that we cannot trust others, that we need to protect ourselves at all costs. Independent thinking, the audacity to dream big, the pursuit of an authentic path to prosperity are discouraged, often ridiculed, as if they were childish fantasies or unrealizable utopias. This external conflict, this constant battle between what society imposes on us and what our soul longs for, inevitably echoes in our inner world. Then a silent but fierce struggle arises within us. On the one hand, the innate desire for a more prosperous, more abundant, freer, more meaningful life, a deep longing to realize our full potential, to contribute our unique talents to the world, to experience the joy of creation, connection, generosity. On the other hand, the paralyzing fear of loss, failure, judgment, rejection, a deep-rooted fear, often unconscious, that prevents us from taking the first step towards our dreams, that keeps us trapped in our comfort zone, even if that zone is uncomfortable and limiting. The voice of scarcity, like a relentless internal critic, constantly whispers in our ears, from childhood, from painful past experiences, from negative messages we have internalized throughout life. This voice tells us to play it safe, not to take risks, not to expose ourselves, not to dream too high, to settle for the minimum, for the mediocre, for the possible. It convinces us that we are not capable, that we are not worthy, that success is for others, not for us. Recognizing this limiting internal programming, identifying this dark shadow that constantly whispers messages of lack and limitation, is the first essential step, the crucial starting point for any journey of transformation. It is necessary to bring this hidden dynamic into the realm of consciousness, to illuminate it with the light of self-observation, so that we can finally understand it, question it, and, consequently, challenge it. Imagine you are driving a car with the parking brake on. No matter how much you accelerate, the car will not move forward with maximum power. There will be constant friction, unnecessary effort. The scarcity mentality is like this parking brake, preventing you from moving towards the prosperity you desire. Becoming aware of this brake, identifying its origin, and learning to release it is fundamental to unlocking your potential and moving forward with more lightness and flow. The choice, then, becomes clear. Although it is not easy, nor instantaneous, continue hostage to the invisible chains of the scarcity mentality, repeating limiting patterns and attracting more of the same into your life, or actively cultivate, consciously and intentionally, the abundance mentality, opening yourself to a world of infinite possibilities and creating a more prosperous and happy reality. This transition, this mental switch, requires a daily act of courage, a firm decision to reprogram our mind, to rewrite our history, to free ourselves from the limiting beliefs that imprison us, courage to question automatic thoughts of lack, to challenge negative internal voices, to break with self-destructive behavior patterns, courage to practice genuine gratitude for what we already have, recognizing the blessings present in our life, even in the small things, cultivating appreciation for the present moment, courage to invest in financial knowledge, to learn to manage money intelligently and strategically, to expand our vision of prosperity and opportunities, courage to invest in personal development, to strengthen our self-esteem, our self-confidence, our emotional resilience, to become the best version of ourselves, courage to visualize the success we aspire to create vivid and positive mental images of our achieved goals, to feed our mind with hope and optimism, and above all, courage to act according to this new perspective, even if they are small hesitant steps at first, but consistent and directed steps towards abundance, towards the life we really desire. It is choosing unwavering faith in possibility, the deep belief in our infinite potential, instead of the paralyzing fear of limitation, disbelief, pessimism. The benefits of this choice far transcend the mere accumulation of material wealth, go far beyond a positive bank balance. By adopting the abundance mentality as a lifestyle, As a personal philosophy, you radically transform your way of seeing the world, of interacting with people, of living each moment. Opportunities that previously remained invisible, obscured by the fog of scarcity, suddenly reveal themselves with clarity, like twinkling stars on a dark night. Your creativity blossoms like a garden in spring. Innovative ideas emerge easily. Creative solutions to complex challenges manifest themselves surprisingly. You discover new ways to generate value for yourself and for the world around you. Resilience increases exponentially. The ability to deal with life's ups and downs strengthens as you deeply trust in your innate ability to create, to attract resources, to overcome obstacles, to learn from mistakes, and to move forward. With determination, the feeling of control over your financial life grows significantly. Anxiety about money decreases. Peace of mind settles in your heart, opening doors to richer, more meaningful, more rewarding experiences in all areas of your life. Material wealth, then, becomes just a natural reflection, an inevitable consequence of the inner wealth that you have patiently cultivated in your mind, in your heart, in your soul. What narrative about money are you allowing to dominate your thoughts and actions today? If this touched you in any way, leave your comment, like this video, and subscribe to the channel to continue receiving messages like this. But this journey towards the abundance mentality is not a linear and obstacle-free path. There will be moments of doubt, relapses into old patterns of thought, external challenges that will test your new perspective. It's like learning to ride a bicycle at first. You may fall, lose your balance, be afraid of getting hurt. But with each attempt, each small progress, confidence increases, balance strengthens, and eventually you conquer the freedom to pedal with ease and joy. Similarly, cultivating the abundance mentality is a continuous process of learning, practice, and improvement. It is not a magical overnight transformation, but rather a gradual and consistent journey of mental reprogramming. And as with any valuable journey, the path is as important as the destination. Learning to savor each small victory, to celebrate each step towards abundance, to recognize the personal growth that occurs along the way, is essential to maintain motivation and perseverance. Remember that the abundance mentality does not mean ignoring challenges or living in a rosy fantasy world. It means, yes, facing reality with strategic optimism, with the conviction that problems are disguised opportunities, that difficulties are stepping stones for growth, and that, even in the darkest moments, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. It is the posture of someone who learns from setbacks, gets up stronger after each fall, and moves forward with the certainty that the universe conspires in their favor. As long as you are aligned with this energy of prosperity and positivity, think of nature, the infinite wisdom of the cycles of life. Spring always returns after the harsh winter. Flowers bloom among the stones. Trees grow strong even in arid soils. Nature teaches us that abundance is the rule, not the exception. That life is a constant flow of creation, renewal, and growth. And we, as an integral part of this nature, are also naturally abundant, prosperous, and capable of manifesting our most audacious dreams. The abundance mentality is, in essence, a return to our natural essence, an awakening to the fundamental truth that we are unlimited, creative beings, and deserving of all the prosperity that the universe has to offer. Modern neuroscience also corroborates this perspective. Studies show that the human brain is incredibly adaptable and malleable, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. This means that we can literally reshape our brain through our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. By consistently cultivating thoughts of abundance, gratitude, and optimism, we strengthen the neural connections associated with these positive emotions and weaken the patterns of negative and limiting thinking. It's like exercising a muscle. The more we use it, the stronger it becomes. Similarly, the more we practice the abundance mentality, the more it takes root in our brain, becoming an automatic and powerful mental habit. Positive psychology, a field of study that has blossomed in recent decades, also offers valuable tools and insights for cultivating the abundance mentality. Researchers such as Martin Seligman and Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi have demonstrated that well-being and happiness are not mere products of luck or external circumstances, but rather skills that can be learned and developed. The practice of gratitude, the cultivation of positive relationships, the search for meaning and purpose in life, the development of personal strengths, and emotional resilience are some of the pillars of positive psychology that help us build a solid foundation for the abundance mentality. Philosophy also offers us a rich wellspring of wisdom for this journey. The Stoics, for example, teach us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts and actions, and to accept with serenity what we cannot, external circumstances. This perspective frees us from the anxiety and frustration generated by the relentless pursuit of control and allows us to direct our energy towards cultivating our inner virtue, our peace of mind, and our ability to find contentment in any situation. The concept of amore fati, or love of fate, proposed by Nietzsche, also aligns with the abundance mentality. It means embracing everything that happens in our lives, both moments of joy and pain, as part of a larger whole, as valuable lessons that shape and strengthen us. Instead of resisting difficulties or lamenting the past, amore fati invites us to accept the present with gratitude and to trust in the wisdom of life, knowing that everything contributes to our growth and to the manifestation of our full potential. And for those seeking an even broader perspective, spirituality, in its various manifestations, also offers a path to the abundance mentality. Belief in a higher power, in a benevolent and abundant universe, in a deep connection with something that transcends the material world, can be a powerful source of faith, hope, and inspiration. The practice of meditation, prayer, mindfulness helps us quiet the mind, connect with our intuition, and tune into the energy of abundance that permeates the entire universe. Faith, in this sense, is not a blind or naive belief, but rather a deep and felt conviction that we are part of something greater, that we are supported and guided on our journey, and that the universe is always in our favor, ready to offer us everything we need to prosper and be happy. Therefore, the abundance mentality is not just a self-help technique or a magic formula to attract material wealth. It is a complete philosophy of life, a way of being and being in the world that encompasses all dimensions of our existence: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. It is a conscious and deliberate choice to live with gratitude, optimism, generosity, confidence, and faith. It is an invitation to awaken to our true abundant nature, to recognize our infinite potential, and to co-create a more prosperous, happy, and meaningful reality for ourselves and for everyone around us. By adopting the abundance mentality, we not only transform our relationship with money, but we also transform our relationships, our health, our career, our creativity, our ability to love and be loved, our connection with the world and with ourselves. It is a journey of self-discovery and expansion of consciousness that leads us to live a fuller, richer, and more rewarding life in every sense of the word. And now, stop for a moment and reflect. In which areas of your life does the scarcity mentality still keep you trapped and limited? And what can you start doing today to cultivate the abundance mentality and unleash your full potential? If you felt inspired by this message, leave your like, share with your friends, leave a comment below and subscribe to the channel so we can continue together on this journey of growth and transformation.